Welcome, welcome, welcome to Modern Day Woman. I'm so glad y'all joined us tonight. This is Teresa Hawley-Howard, your host, and we have a beautiful, beautiful guest tonight. She is going to empower you, she's going to encourage you, and she's going to tell you how to take back your crown. Welcome to the show, Erica.
Thank you so much, Teresa. I'm really excited about this opportunity. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for coming on. I know your book is going to make a great movement. It's really going to empower, uplift, and encourage women, and it's going to tell them exactly how to step back into their power.
Yeah. And so I am just really excited about it. I know that this book is, like you're saying, going to make some huge strides. I have some really hefty goals in mind to share this message across the world to women. To, really the main focus is to never give up and never settle for less. That's one of the big options that I want you to really focus on, and making sure that that's the movement of this book. And unstoppable tenacity. People think tenacity is about being strong-willed and being stubborn about your goals, which it is also, but it's not just the external factors. It's also the internal factors of really transforming from the inside out so that you can make some radical movements and so that you can cover a lot of ground. And so my book has a queen mentality to it, a queen focus around it, around the crown, because I've been inspired to really help women live life in royalty. Because a lot of times we're living as pawns. Pawns meaning the smallest piece on the chessboard, pawns with negative mindsets, no desire to move forward, mindset, thoughts of disbeliefs of not feeling enough, fear of achieving goals and other aspirations in their life. And so when I approach this here with the queen mentality, it's a way to empower a woman to get back on their throne and to really live and speak in a way that's above others and that's above the average and the normalcy of everything, so that they can take their power back and really make sure that they're claiming their inheritance through the unstoppable tenacity movement. And so what I do in my book, I walk a woman from start A to the end finish line on the ongoing process of their journey of really making some good coverage and ground in their lives. And I use a lot of my own personal stories to make sure that they can really relate to the process. So it doesn't even matter where you're at right now. If you're a woman that's maybe just getting started with their business, or a woman that's been inspired to really make some inspirational changes in their community, or someone that's looking to be promoted at their own place of work right now, it's for you. And even if you're in the middle stages where you already have a higher mindset and an elevated thought pattern around living abundantly, that is okay. You can be at the beginning stages where you're like, I don't feel like I'm enough. I don't feel like I'm giving enough and doing enough. Or you can be at this point where I feel like I'm doing some great things. I see something coming in my life here, and I know that I can make these changes. But man, I would love to be inspired a little bit more and ignited to move forward. And that's really how I walk them through that. And my actual vision around this book here, and really how it was inspired, was through my own personal testimony of walking through a 13-year journey towards fertility. I've been on a long road with this process with 4 natural miscarriages. We've done IVF with 8 embryos that was failed. We've done IUI, all types of medicated cycles as well. And I know that I've been very unstoppable in this journey and not giving up despite of what I see in the realm here in my own 2 eyes. And so now I'm using that as the catalyst to propel and elevate women so that they don't give up on their goals as well. And my book really takes that message of what I've been through my infertility journey, through my education, through all types of things I've been through with my own personal, emotional disbeliefs and such, and helping the woman really tie it in so that she can be unstoppable in her journey as well.
I think that's
and so now
true. I think that's so true,
Thank you.
because
Thank
no
you.
matter what our goal is, no matter whether it's children, whether it's a place in our business, whether it's a place in ministry, whatever
Yeah.
that goal is, you have to be unstoppable in order to achieve it. You have to make
Yes.
sure that you are willing to go that extra mile, to put in that extra work, to do what it takes. And sometimes that's late nights. Sometimes that's early mornings. Sometimes that's just keep going when everybody else tells you you're crazy. You know, but we
Yeah.
have to feel that fire in us, because I know when I started my business, my mom and them laughed. I'm just going to be honest with y'all. We live in a little bitty town in East Texas. They were like, that is never going to make a difference from there, because it's a little bitty town. Where are you going to get that reach? But I knew that we had the power of the internet. It didn't matter where I was physically. I could touch thousands, millions of people just by putting my voice out there, just by being willing to step up and speak out. And I think that's the one thing that women don't realize, their own power, their own drive, what they could do if they just get out of their own dang way. I mean, we are the we are the biggest problem we have. We stop us more than our husbands stop us, more than the world stop us, more than our parents stop us, more than other people who naysay us or tell us, oh, that can't happen for you. We are more powerful at stopping our dreams than anyone else, because when we let that little doubt get in there, we do it ourselves. We unravel the string ourselves. And if we would just realize what our inheritance is and grab for the gold ring and say, it doesn't matter. I don't care if it takes a year, 5 years, 10 years. Here's where I'm going to be. And every day I'm going to make a step in that direction. Even if it's a little bitty baby step, I might have to crawl that day. But I'm going to go forward.
That's right. And that piece that you were speaking about, the inheritance, you know, that's the thing too. Some people are just not at that mindset. They believe that they can be abundant. And that's where one part of my book, I also help make sure that every woman knows that you have a birthright to be abundant. You have a birthright to live in happiness and joy and having abundance in any and everything that you touch. And so I help my reader really grasp that in a way where they can tap into their inner child so they can dream a little bit more, slaying those gremlins in the head. I call them gremlins. That's the negativity, the chatter. You know, really making sure, like you're saying, that we move ourselves out of the way so that then therefore we can be in our purpose and our path that God has really called us to be. And that's that inheritance piece that we all have maybe sometimes a tough time to tap into to move forward.
I think that's true. You know, sometimes we think other people's truths, we take them to heart. All those things someone else told you, taught you, said about you, spoke over you. And sometimes people speak those things over you and they don't even think about them. I know where I come from here in East Texas, women are meant to be moms. We're supposed to be wives, mothers, and pretty much do the cooking and the cleaning. That's probably all they would like. They really don't like you to step up and be, you know, because it's still, I say it's still the 1950s out here, but, you know, no offense to anybody who's listening from East Texas, but you just don't realize the power of the women in your networks. And sometimes they're intimidated by the power of their women, but you shouldn't be, because you have that power in you. And so when you're raising girls, like when my grandchildren, I tell them, you can be anything you want to be. There ain't nobody out there who can stop you but you. My 10-year-old granddaughter, Skylie, is a published author. Last year for her birthday, she said, Mimi, I want to be an author. I said, write the book and we'll make it happen. People at her school said, cannot happen. Even her mom said, I really don't think you're going to make the bestsellers list. You know, probably just family's going to buy that book. She's on Amazon. She's in Barnes & Noble because she wanted it. And guess what? Another woman stepped up and helped her make it happen. And that's what I think your book will do. Other women want things and they have goals and they have dreams. And so then you help them facilitate that. Your book will give them the plan, the platform, the path, you know, the blueprints for their dreams and goals. And that's what we're supposed to do as women. It is our goal to help somebody else unlearn and unhear all those truths that don't belong to them. Because somebody else spoke that over to them. I know I personally came from the wrong side of town. My mom was a single mom when it was not cool. You know, my dad walked out when I was like 5 and we didn't see him for 10 years. He never paid child support.
Wow.
My mom worked 2 and 3 jobs, you know, so my
Mm.
sister and I, we lived in the trailer park. My sister and I were home alone and by ourselves because there was no such thing as daycare back then. You know, my mom laid out TV dinners.
Mm.
That's what we're eating. And I learned to work the microwave. And so,
Yeah.
you know, but it was a different time then. But still that stigma of where you come
Yeah.
from, people think that that defines them. And I'm here to tell you, I came from God. I'm a child of God.
That's right.
No one else
That's
gets
right.
to write that destiny. It doesn't matter what my address was. It doesn't matter what my
No.
location was. You can't stop
Yeah.
what's destined for me. And I know my inheritance. But there's a lot of women out there who need to hear what they're inherited. They need to hear. They need to hear that they deserve better than they have. They deserve someone who's working as hard as they are towards their dreams. Please quit settling for someone who's just helping you spend your income tax check. Please stop.
That's right.
I mean, they all favor, you know, your W-2s are coming in, ladies. You know that they knocking at the door and want to know how you and the kids is doing because your W-2 is coming in. But please, please take that money and invest in your children, invest in your future, invest in what's coming next because you deserve so much more. And all you have to do is go for it. All you have to do is seek it. All you have to do is be willing to make the sacrifices to make it happen. But you got to have a place to start. And that's where your book comes in.
It does. Exactly. And even if that person had a dream before too, and where they maybe tried and strived, but they didn't get anywhere, were based on their reality, you know, based on their mindset and the reality, it just wasn't aligned. And now they're just like, I don't know if this dream is real. I'm here to tell them and remind them it is, and it can be real, and you can strive for those goals. You just have to keep pressing on. And you will see in my book, it's a lot of things that I had to just push out of my comfort zones. I call it snapping the rubber band out of our own comfort zone, where that point when you snap a rubber band and you're a little scared of it, like snapping you back. That's that piece that we have to get out of. So then therefore we can really expose our gifts and really tap into that inheritance. But it does take us to get a little uncomfortable, you know, and so I'm really excited about having every piece of dynamic of someone that's starting to dream, someone that is looking to rekindle their dream, and some that's just want to keep that momentum on. They're hot fire right now, and they just needed a little pick me up to keep going.
Right. So. And, you know, it doesn't really matter what stage you're in. The book is perfect for them. If you just begin, if you're new and you're just getting, and you know, when we say if you're new and just to begin, I don't mean in your 20s, because I began my dream in the 40s. I spent my 20s and 30s married to a man who was abusive. And so I didn't start till I was 40. And so it's never too late to start. You can start any time claiming your crown. You can start any time claiming your dream. But the first thing you got to do is know what it is. And the second thing you got to do is write it down. Quit letting it stay up in your head. You got to write it down, make a plan. And the third thing you got to do is buy the book and start working your plan.
That's right. And the thing is, and my book gives you the pure application of what you need. My book is not the book you read and you put it back down. My book is the one you read, you apply the questions in a journal, and then you write it down. You apply it to your life specifically on making that radical transformation. And so that's the biggest part that makes my book so different than others. Is it is a memoir, but it's also a self-help guide and a applicational tool for you to transform from the inside out.
That's right. It's kind of a call to action to other women.
Yeah.
This is how I learned to slay. This is how I had my unstoppable tenacity. This is what I did. And now it's your turn. Yeah. Read, be inspired, be encouraged, and learn from me, and now do it. And that's what I love. I love at the end of every chapter that there's that spot where she can do it, where she can put it in terms of her business, of her family, of her life, whatever it is, whatever stage she's in. It's not like a new beginner's book or only for experts book. It's for everybody. So no matter where you are, those time to slay, that will work for you. That will work for you.
That's right. Yes.
And so tell us where you are now. I know you have a huge movement coming with the book. Oh, yeah. You're going to be on a beach somewhere soon, I'm sure, celebrating the book.
That's right. Yes. You know, God dropped in my spirit 4 months ago, because I started writing my book actually in September of 2016, and now it's going into February, and it will be fully released the first week of February. So it took me about 5 to 6 months almost to get this in full fruition. But God really dropped in my spirit 1 million. And when I heard 1 million, I was like, what does that coincide with? I honestly didn't get it. But he was like, I want you to touch 1 million lives. It has nothing to do with the money. I don't want people to instantly think I'm trying to be a millionaire off of it. What I am saying is that I am going to touch 1 million women's lives with this book. And God is going to take care of everything I need, and he has already. And the thing is that through that, it will be through telesummits. It will be through all types of various book launches that I will be doing all over the U.S. I already have several contacts and people, family and friends, where I will just be visiting them, but then they'll put me into their churches. They'll get me inside of their communities. And I have a huge, aggressive plan for 2017 to attack. And I've been also interviewing and starting that process with media, with news stations, and also with magazines and TV shows. So this is not some just, I'm just becoming an author, and here oh my God, I'm an author and I made this book. This is a movement. This is a God-inspired movement that I know that from every step of the way that I've started this process, that God has been completely backing me up and showing me and telling me every step of the way so that I can touch 1 million lives. And so I want to make sure that everyone shares this opportunity with their sisters, with their cousins, with their mothers, with their daughters, granddaughters, whomever that are in your circle, because this book will, and I know it will, change your life. And I'm not saying that because I am the author, because I know it's been God inspired, and I know that he put some anointing over this book that is going to just radically just make you think a different way or do things a different way and be a different way in any goals that you have in your life.
I think that's so true. One of the things your book is great about is that your book is perfect for any women's group, any women's Bible study, any women's group in your church, because it can reach the girls, whether you're 18 or 80. It can help you with that deal, because we all have a journey. We all have a path, and we all have goals and missions and callings from God. We all have something that we are supposed to impart. And so your book is great for that. And it doesn't matter, even out of the churches, your book is great for any women's networking group, because you can use this book in your networking group. Your women can read it, and every week you can get together and you can have your plan to slay, and you can hold each other accountable for your plan. Because if you write your plan down by yourself and you don't share it with nobody, we smudge our plans. We'd be like, well, that really wasn't for this week. I do that next week. That really wasn't meant for today. I know I wrote that down for today, but I really could do that next Tuesday at 3. And so that's what happens. We don't have nobody who read the list who's going to call us on Friday and say, hey, Teresa, you said 10 things is going to happen this week. Why you only done 3? And I don't want to hear nothing happen. You could have been up till midnight. Your job was that on Friday, these 10 things were going to be done. You had 24 hours every day to make it happen. And so that's why, we need to be accountable. So that's why this book is great for a group setting. Women's networking groups, women's masterminds. This group is perfect for that, because you can use each chapter and take that. It has it planned out for you. You don't even have to think of the questions to ask at the end of the chapter. You don't even have to make up the plan. It's already in the book. It's there for you. All you got to do is take your journal out and answer the questions and turn them into somebody else to hold you accountable. That's the key part. You have to be accountable. And even though we think we can be accountable ourselves, we are not a very good accountable partner. We need somebody else. And we need somebody honest, ladies. Do not give your sister who is afraid of you your list. You give it to the sister who will call you out on the carpet and wonder what you did and how come she saw you at the coffee shop, but your stuff wasn't done. She saw you on social media, but your list wasn't done. She saw you chit-chatting with somebody after service, or she saw you, hanging out in the bar, but your list wasn't done. So you need to give it to somebody who's going to say, hey, where is your priorities? We all need that. I have my personal accountability partner. We make our list every week. I send mine over to her. And then on Friday or Saturday morning, we get back together and we go over what happened, what didn't happen. And I better have valid reasons, like, maybe pneumonia struck me or I have Ebola, because she don't take nothing. She don't even take, I don't feel well. Everybody knows I have lupus. I tell her, it's a lupus day. She said that laptop will fit in your bed. She don't take nothing. She is no holds barred. She is serious about the goal, but she propels me. She pushes me. She ignites me. She makes sure it's happening. Because guess what? When December of 2017 comes, and I gotta look at that vision board over there, and I haven't knocked off as much of it as I'd like to, and then I have to remember all the times I slacked off, you know, I'm gonna be regretting it. So I'd rather have her pushing me in February than me regretting it in December. So we each need that. And that's why your book is so great, because it lines it out for them. And all they have to do is show up with the book. And then it's made perfect for them. It's made perfect for any group. As long as you use it. It's just like any other tool. You got to use it.
That's right.
Just don't buy it and set it on the shelf. So, you know, don't use it to hold your alarm clock up. You got to use it to change your life and your business. That's the way it is.
That's right.
So tell us, I know that you have bulk orders too, right? If they want to, if groups want to order in bulk, tell them how they can reach out to you about ordering in bulk.
Yeah, absolutely. So you can actually email me at estepteau@hotmail.com, and that's ESTEPTEAU @hotmail.com. And the way we can do this, I also obviously have discounts. So if you have a minimum order of 50 or if you have a minimum order of 100, it's available. The Cleveland Clinic, they're already in process right now of bulk buying for patients here at this large health institution. So that shows how vast this movement is and how it can apply to anyone's life, because you have a medical institution that is using this as a mindset empowerment tool so that it can help their patients think more abundantly so they can become healthier and minimize symptoms and minimize the diagnosis. So if you're interested as well, please email me, because it is available to you. And like Teresa said, everything is laid out. There's honestly no thinking pattern. A lot of times when you want to start a little small group in your church or in your community, it's always the strategizing of the curriculum that maybe holds you back. But this here, you can just set up a meetup group in your local area and just have the book on hand and just really just make copies of it if you wanted to, and give them to them, and also give them also their own books and their own journals so that they can also be part of this movement here. And so when they take it home themselves, the book, they can radically apply it and making sure that they're really tuning in and having the support with one another to make a transformation in their lives. Well.
And if you have your women's group and you're going, oh, well, I have my group together. I have 10, 15, 20, 30, 50 women, but I don't know where to meet. We don't have, we cannot all be at the Starbucks taking up all their tables discussing our book. No, but you can go to your local library. Every library has a room. And if you have a group that's meeting to read or to discuss a book, they will let you use their rooms for free. So look up your local library, set you up a women's book group, and get this book and read it. It will be available. It's February 4th, correct? We're going to launch on February 4th, so you can get it in Kindle, and the print will be right behind it. That weekend, it will be available for you to order. You can get now with Erica, and you can pre-order, get your books already being sent out, so you'll be ready for the launch. Have the book in there if you're ordering from bulk orders, so you can be ready when the launch happens. And we would love to hear back from you. Erica would love to hear what the book is doing for you, how how it has impacted you, how you loved it, how it really was a catalyst to change your life. So please reach out to Erica. Erica, tell them all the ways that they can reach out to you. And if you need a great speaker, let her bring the book and empower your women.
That's right, exactly. And speaking is my passion, honestly, and I do it every day here for my company that I work for as a health coach. And the thing is that I can be that speaker for you for any events, if it's with your church or in the community. And I am all over social media. If you Google me, you will just see that I pop up any and everywhere. I've had a weight loss journey that I was published in magazines with. I've done a lot of media already with my company as a health coach. So I'm very easy to find. However, you can find me on Facebook specifically at Unstoppable Tenacity. That is the business page. And then also part of my book, I help you integrate your thoughts or sharing your inspiration or even your aha moments, as Teresa was saying, on Tenacious Queens Unite on Facebook group. So it's called Tenacious Queens Unite. And it's a Facebook group page that I am just letting everyone that get the book funnel to, so that they can share amongst each other, and you can share as well in your story, your transformation with your group or with yourself. And it's just a way that we can stay empowered and stay united, because like Teresa was saying, there's so much power in numbers, and there's so much more accountability and movement if we stick together, ladies. We are not here to compete with one another. We are not here to be better than another. We are here to walk together and pick up each other when we need to, and elevate someone if they need, if you're wanting to support them in what they're doing as well. But there's a piece in every part of this puzzle for you to unite with other women together.
That is so true. You know, here we always say at Modern Day Women, it's not our job to compete with our sisters. It's not our job to compete with other women. Mm-hmm. It's our job to uplift, empower, inspire, and to bring them with us. We are supposed to reach back to where we came from and bring another, not to sit there and say, oh, this is where I am now. I don't know y'all anymore. That's not what we were meant to do. And so, and there's no competition. All the time I collaborate with other women who publish, with other women who do anthologies, with other women who do exactly what I do, because guess what? I'm not everybody's cup of tea. So it may not be for everybody, but there is power in the fact that you don't compete with those around you, and all you do is share their greatness. It never makes you shine any brighter to take someone else's light, and you don't shine any less by giving somebody else light. So it is our job to light one another up and to show the next generation how it's done. Because believe me, you may not think somebody's watching you, but they are. Whether you, you know, no matter where you are, there's someone else looking at you, seeing how you behave, how you react, how you handle, and what you do in each situation. Erica, thank you so much for being on the show tonight. I'm so glad you came. We will have all of your book information on our pages so that they can order. We will have the video up on the next day after this podcast airs, and we will also have links to how they can order the book and how they can get in touch with you to book you to speak, to book you to come to talk about the book, or just to order the book for their groups, and so that we can help you to reach those 1 million lives that you're going to touch. Because remember, when you touch one woman's life, it's not just one woman. You're touching all of her legacy, all of her generation, all the women around her, because believe me, as women, we are not quiet. We tell everybody what we heard about. So we're going to spread to 1 million really quickly. Thank you so much, Erica, for being on. You have a great night. And again, this was Teresa Hawley-Howard with Modern Day Woman. I'm so glad y'all joined us tonight, and we'll see y'all again next week.